Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Josh Denny. This is our Wednesday evening webinar. It's actually part two in a series talking about personality types. We started several weeks ago and had a little trip to Israel, so that interrupted a few of our weeks. In any event, I'm back. We did take a test, as you can recall, 2 weeks ago. Actually, it's 3 weeks ago now. We took a test and figuring out what our personality type is as it pertains to 4 different color groups. You got the reds, you recall, the blues, the yellows, and the greens. Okay, these are 4 basic personality groups. Of course, none of us are just one. We're a combination of all. And I would encourage you to continue to study personalities and people as it pertains to your relationship marketing business, because in the end, that's what we do. We work with people. I kind of want to share a few things I've discovered recently. And I was talking with some people the other day, and they were actually successful in the profession of networking. 20-year veterans had experienced $1 million success, not little success, but big success. And unfortunately, in the past few years, they had fallen on some rough times and were not doing as well in the particular company that they were working with. And we had a chance to talk, and it's interesting because I've known these people for quite some time, and they didn't sound like their typical selves. They sounded very down. They sounded unsure. They sounded like, I don't know if we're going to win. I don't know what's going to happen, and all this kind of stuff. And I couldn't help but think, this is how brand new people think in the beginning of their entrepreneurial career. At least it's certainly how I felt. I'm certain it's how they felt before. And here they are back again, feeling that way, feeling like all is lost, and I got to tell you, if you want to succeed, and I suspect you do, you wouldn't be investing your time this evening on a webinar to, learn more about how you can win. So obviously you're here for a reason. But you got to, you absolutely have to. It's a must. You got to be positive, okay? And you got to be able to see the future better than this now. And you got to maintain that. A mentor of mine said, Josh, you've got to borrow from the beauty of tomorrow to pay the price of today. But you can't do that if you think tomorrow is going to be horrible. If you think tomorrow the sky is going to fall, okay? You've got to be able to paint the vision for your future. And I don't know how many times I've talked about this. I've said this in countless presentations to tens of thousands of audience members all over the world now. And sometimes I feel like I'm only talking to myself, because it's rare I see an individual do it. It's so rare, and I don't know why. I really don't. I wonder why. And I don't think this has anything to do with the personality now. So I know we're not on the particular topic we're talking about this evening, but it relates to it, because our personalities can help us once we've got a clear vision of our future, where we're going. Okay, the how we're going to get there, that the how doesn't matter as much. I heard this many years ago. A mentor of mine who is very wealthy said, Josh, everyone who knows how, the how to do it, they know how to do what needs to get done, and how to do it. Those people always end up working for the man or the woman who know why they're doing it. They understand the purpose. They have the why. They may not know the how. In fact, a lot of people I've met in my career that are extraordinary achievers don't necessarily know how to do everything that needed to get done to get them to where they are today. Now, they learned in process, and almost 100% of them didn't know how to do it when they first got started. In fact, most of them would tell you, you know what, I had the foggiest idea of how I was going to do anything. All I knew was I was going from here to there. I was getting it done. It didn't matter how. All that mattered was I was going to go from where I am to where I want to be. And I would encourage you today to spend some time this evening and write out what's important in your life. take the time to draw out what the next year looks like, the next 5 years. I would even say go as far as the next 10 years. And I know that kind of gets crazy for us in the American culture. But, you know, I've learned in Asia and other parts of the world, it's not uncommon to have a 100-year plan, you know, a several generation plan for your family. In America, where I'm broadcasting from, that's not too commonly talked about or even thought about, is having a 100-year plan. I'm not going to ask you to have a 100-year plan. I'm not even going to ask you to have a 10-year plan, although I think it's a good idea. I'm going to ask you to have a 5-year plan. What does your life look like just 5 years from now? What does it look like? What does your life look like? Where do you live? What kind of house are you living in? Is it paid off? Okay. What are some of the amenities you have in your home? What's on your walls? Or maybe some mementos, some pictures from your travel around the world. Well, where did you go? What places did you visit? Who was with you? Was it your family? Was it your best friends? Who was there? As you sit in your favorite chair, you know, in that home, okay, what are you thinking about? What are some of the things that are going on in your world? You know, are you worried about bills still? Or is that long past? Are you contemplating how you're going to help other people? Are you setting up for your grandchildren? What are you doing? Just 5 years from today, what's happening? What kind of car is in your garage? Is it new? What color is it? Do you like it? If not, why not? Get something that you like. Does it have to be fancy? I don't know. Do you like fancy? What kind of clothes do you have? You know, are they just relaxing clothes? Are they dressed? Are they, you know, special clothes? Are they brand name clothes? What are they? And it doesn't matter. And don't feel guilty about whatever it is. You know, sometimes I've talked to people, I coach with people, and they feel guilty about, well, you know, I really want, you know, this brand, because this brand I've always wanted it, never had it before, and this brand would make me feel successful, or this brand would, you know, it kind of identifies with my personality. Okay, we'll get that brand then. You know, so don't worry about it. And some people say, oh, well, if I get that brand, then people are going to think this. Who cares what anyone thinks? What do you think? What do you want? And really get clear on that. If you get clear on that, then paying the price today is so much easier, because then you just borrow from that. You borrow from the beauty of tomorrow, the beauty of what that looks like, that home that you're living in, your family, if the college tuition is paid for your children, is that retirement program flush and fat, and no matter what happens, you're taken care of, and your children and your children's children are taken care of. And you say, well, Josh, I can't do that in 5 years. Well, why not? Why not? Other people have done it. If other people have done it, you can too. Of course that can happen. What's to tell you in your brain that you can't? Because it hasn't happened before, or the last 5 years weren't that way. All you have to do is make a choice right now that that's going to happen for you, and put it out there. Again, the hardest part about this is your brain is going to tell you, oh, that's a lie. Because you're going to start thinking about it. You may even start drawing it out or writing it down, and your brain starts to reject that idea. It says, no, Josh, that's a lie. You're not going to have that. Be realistic. And you're going to be tempted to erase the grandiose plan that you wrote down, or the nicer vehicle that you want, or the home being paid off, and say, well, maybe it's not paid off. Maybe, you know, I just have a 15-year note on it, and I'm comfortable paying that mortgage. Abandon that. This is 5 years from now, folks. 5 years. 5 years. You know, you'd be surprised what you can accomplish in just a few years of concentrated effort. Okay? But that's important. It's vitally important. So that way you can go to where you want to go. And once that's solid for you, guys, this how-to process of building your enterprise, building your business, building whatever it is that you need to build for your future, that is going to be a lot simpler. It's going to be a lot simpler what's going on, and the price will be easy. You know, there's discipline that's required, obviously, in doing this type of work. You need to be disciplined, and they say discipline weighs ounces, where regret weighs tons. You know, I'm certain if you're like me, I can look back on my life And I can think, man, if I had only done this, if I'd only done this, I should have done that. I should have did this. I should have done that. I should have. And I'm shoulding all over myself, you know. And people do that, don't they? I don't know if you've ever done that, but I certainly have. And my suggestion to you is this, okay? Erase that. You know, whatever it was before, rip it off, throw it away. You are here now today. Paint that future. If you have to, go online, you know, Google, you know, image some of those things that you say you want, some of the places that you want to live, some of the scenery that's around you, and print that stuff out. Go through some magazines, cut it out, put it all around you so you have a reminder. Some people call it a dream board, okay? But you can have a dream wall. You could just cover your house with this stuff, and everywhere you go, you're looking at. It's constantly reminding the subconscious brain of where you're going, okay? Now, once you have that, this personality stuff comes into play. The reds, the greens, the blues, the yellows, you know, and we can classify personalities in these boxes because it'll help us to navigate through the social aspect of what it is we do. And believe me, all we do is deal with people, okay? We deal with people. And when you can help find out what's important to them and you can talk their language, you can succeed so much faster. You can get to where you want to go. And now we were talking about the different color categories and of course how to interact with them. And I'm going to open it up to questions. By the way, I'm certain you're going to have some questions. If you haven't liked us on Facebook, please like us on Facebook. And below the screen here, you're going to see a box to ask questions. Type your name in if you wouldn't mind, because I won't know who you are if you don't. And submit your questions. And if you can start now, any questions that you have, I'm going to get to them soon. This is going to be a relatively quick a webinar, and I think we get a lot more content in the question and answer session. So please feel free to do that. I'm going to give a couple scenarios about, and I'm only reason I'm going to do this because I know a lot of the questions invariably are going to ask this stuff anyway. So for the sake of not being redundant, I'm going to move more to the questions and answers. But I want to talk real quickly again about the reds, the yellows, the greens, and the blues. You know, reds, again, more the taskmasters. They're the flashy type people, usually the real drivers. They kind of the people that'll steamroll over people. They are typically talking over someone else. When you shake a red's hand, typically their hand will turn your hand over. I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where you go to shake someone's hand, you kind of go in straight, and then they just turn your hand over like, my name's blah. You know, they hold it down, and you're like, oh, you're strong. You're strong. I can tell. You know, that's typically a red. Okay, whereas a yellow, when they come into have the hand, they'll kind of turn their hand over and let you dominate them. It's just a personality. So when someone does that, I realize that they're a yellow personality group. You know, sometimes the blues will do that too, but oftentimes blues will kind of come straight on and give you a right shake. Greens sometimes will either do that or also yield a little bit. So it depends on them for the handshake. But I can almost promise you 100% of the time, if someone's turning your hand over, that's a red personality for sure. They're very competitive. You can help these people by challenging them. They respond very well to challenge. They respond very well to, well, you know, if you don't think you can do this, then I understand. What do you mean? If I don't, of course I can do it. Okay, well, if you can do it, then don't you think you should do it? You know, you can challenge these people. Okay, challenge them. You say, and these are the people that they love competition. So they want to know who the fastest person was to XYZ rank. Who's the fastest person that hit this level? Who's the fastest person to do that? And you could drive that person by putting that carrot, if you will, ahead of them so they can see it. These people will chase after it. They also very much like recognition. Now, they say they don't, but they do. They're all about recognition, which is typically why they buy the flashy cars and the flashy stuff, because they want to be recognized for that aspect of their life. Yes, I'm smart. Yes, I'm successful. They want to show that stuff off. Whereas a green will rarely ever do that. You know, green, it could be one of the wealthiest people in the room, and you would never know it whatsoever. They're going to wear some shirt that they got from maybe a thrift store, okay, because it was economical. You know, they're going to wear a calculator watch, or maybe that, you know, they'll, of course, the Apple watches now are awesome, but they definitely would probably have maybe an Apple Watch or a Casio, something very economic. And when you're interacting with these people, understand it's very important to speak their language. And the best way, again, to find out their personalities, asking them questions about themselves, going through that form. And we talked about this earlier. Form, which is an acronym, stands for family, occupation, recreation, motivation. We're going to ask questions about the family. We're going to ask questions about their occupation. We're going to ask questions about what it is they do for recreation or fun. We're going to, and all of these questions are going to help us determine what motivates them. By finding out what motivates them, we'll typically determine where they are in the color personality chart and help us speak to them in a way in which they want to be spoken to, so they are more inclined to get started with you in your business. Because if they believe they can relate with you, it's a lot easier for them to do business with you. Again, people do business with people they know, like, and trust. We do business with people we know, like, and trust. And you can gain trust and likability with someone by simply mirroring and matching them, finding out how they operate, how they think, what's important to them, and sharing with them how they can operate with Secret and how Secret can help them get what they want by using the language that works for them. And an example of this would be if you're talking to a red, you want to talk about how much money they can make. They're okay with that. They, in fact, want to know about the money. A lot of times they're bottom line people. Listen, cut to the chase. How much money do I make? All right, if I do this, what do I get? That's a red. A yellow would probably never say that. And if you start talking money, money, money to a yellow, you're going to turn them off. They don't really care about that. Although they do want to make money, that's not their motivator. Their motivator is helping other people. They want to know, why these products are better for your skin, and that there's no animal testing, and we don't test on animals, that we're hyperallergenic, that these are the best products for children because of that. And they like to hear that kind of stuff. They like to hear the fact that you get paid for helping other people. So the reality is that you're able to do well by helping other people. And so you can change your language pattern based on the personality type of the individual you're sitting down and talking to. Where as a blue, they love having fun. They're going to love our conventions. They love being around other people. They love that stuff. They love the recognition. Yes, they like to make money, but it's more about having fun, being around other people. That's enjoyable to them. And the greens, they're more about the facts. They're going to join because of it's going to make logical sense to them. They're going to know that we've invested more in research and development than most all other direct selling companies in the personal care space combined. The Secret's got a better R&D budget. We spend more money on that than every other company. That's important to them. That's important. They're the people that will typically read the ingredients. Okay, it's important to them to know that stuff. And if you're not a fact person, it's important to point them to where the facts are on the website. So it's important to know where they are and how to get to them, because they're the person that will read the entire policy and procedures of the application. Okay, an ultra green will do that for sure. It drives me crazy because I'm not that way at all. And I'll sit down with someone, show them the application, and they're going to flip it over and they just start reading the back. And I think they're joking, because who reads the back? But they do. They read the entire thing. And it's not like they can change anything on it. Okay. And it's like, these are the policies and procedures, and they'll read it all. And that's okay, and that's important to them. It's important to be patient with that, especially when you're interacting with a green, to know that once you help answer all their questions, the likelihood of them getting started shoots to the roof. And once they're solid, once they're locked in, they become an incredible resource. They become very credible for you to introduce to other people, and their endorsements are usually pretty strong. Because sometimes a lot of greens are doctors, physicians, accountants, engineers, that type will fit more of a greener personality. Okay, so in any event, I'm going to go to the questions and answers here, because I know we're going to get a lot of training content here. Hopefully you've entered some questions by now. We're just refreshing the page. I see we've got a good audience here this evening. I suspect we'll have some good questions. Hold on one second while we fire this up. All right. Here we go. By the way, this is a great and fun thing to do with your team. If you have team get-togethers, go through the test with them, help them help them to find out what personality type they're in. It'll help you work with them. So if you do have a team right now that you're growing, it's important do some of these fun exercises with the color test and find out the personalities. And that way you can kind of learn to talk with each other. It's also great to do this if you're married, okay, with your spouse. Find out their personality type. This will probably help a lot and maybe ease some tensions or help relationships get better when you know the language. And you probably already know a lot of this stuff, but once you really get to understand personalities and how they work and how they affect one another in communication, it's really an unfair advantage in business. Because a lot of times, most people, again, we talked about this before, but most people's idea of a conversation is two people just waiting their turn to talk, okay? And, with Reds, that's normal. Reds don't care. Reds don't even care that you're listening to them. Doesn't matter to them. They're just going to tell you what they want to tell you no matter what. Whereas a yellow and a blue, it's really important, and a green, I'd say it's really, really important that you listen to them and hear them. And they want to know that you hear them, okay? And they'll listen. All right. Lisa Robbie, thank you. So you're not alone. Love dreaming. Done this since a little girl. Paul and I have an entire wall in our home dedicated to the vision of our family's future, and I've never doubted that I'd have it all. I just didn't know how, and that how has changed over the years. Now I have the right vehicle, and I get closer to my dreams every day. And you think you're a rainbow. I think you probably are too. A lot of us are kind of a mixture of all of them. Obviously, the goal would be to try to get your personality working so it's kind of an even keel. Unfortunately, I can't work on my green. I guess I can. I should get can't out of my vocabulary, but I've been unable thus far in my life to improve my green, my orderliness. And for those of you who know me, you know that's true. So it's just a big weakness of mine that I need to work on, or at least hire out, which I've successfully done recently. By the way, thank you, Lisa Robbie, for that great statement of yours. I'm going to keep refreshing this. Come on, guys, ask your questions. Let me know what you want to know about this, because again, I could train on this all day, but the idea is when you got to get out and practice this, understand it, and learn how to talk with these different groups of people. Again, Red's very simple, just challenge them. Okay, Blues talk about the fun. And again, when you're listening to them, they're gonna tell you what you need to know. But talk more fun when you identify a blue personality. Talk more helping people when you identify a yellow personality, and talk more facts when you identify a green personality. It's really that simple. There's more to it. Of course, you'll learn that as time goes on. All right. Let's see here, guys. You guys are awesome. All right. Refresh again. All right. All right. Let's see here, guys. One more refresh. I think you guys, I can't believe there's no questions. Never, no questions like this, but that's okay. That means you guys got it. So the next step is to go apply. Go apply, make it happen, and start to build your business and start to study this whole personality aspect of the business. Because I assure you, as you do that, my friends, you're going to start to realize how this unfolds, how this business gets simpler and it gets easier for you to win, for you to succeed, for you to accomplish what you want to accomplish. Okay, it's not a difficult thing to do. but it requires consistent behavior. It's not easy either, but it requires consistency, okay? And interacting with people, really willing to be, be willing to listen to them, and they'll give you all the ammunition you need to help them get involved in the business. Here's what I know, and you know it too. Most people out there, they are desiring to succeed. They are desiring to have a better quality of life. And you and I, we have a vehicle to help them. We have a vehicle to help them achieve success in the most amazing way. Now, they don't know that just yet. And they may not believe it off the top because a lot of people, a lot of things are coming at us these days, okay? But when you listen to someone and you hear what's important to them and you understand how to deliver the information to them, to just at least get them to take a look, you'll see that your numbers start to increase. You'll see that your results start to increase. It's inevitable. And then just being consistent, especially when you're talking with people, you're not trying to recruit them per se, okay? No, you're trying to get them in your business. Like we're not going and hunting people. What we're doing rather is what we're trying to do is we are trying, okay, to simply get in front of enough people, sharing your opportunity and looking for the ones that actually get it like we do, okay? And you're gonna only find that through time. Again, listening to them, finding out what's important to them, sharing with them your opportunity, letting them see it, showing the products, letting them experience it for themselves, okay? Asking them who they know. Hey, who do you know? Who's there? Who can I talk to? Okay, let's see. Another question. Okay, want to know more about how to, Rika, you want to know about how to earn 6 figures customers only? I'd love to have a team, commissions. Okay, you know what? That should be on this site. If you on the website, I'm going to make sure. I'm going to look myself, but I was told it was archived here on the website. So please go through the training archive. It should be there, labeled under customers. I'll make sure myself here in a moment. I'll look through it. If not, I'll make sure it's up within the next 24 hours. I'm sure my brother Matthew is on the line. Matt, if you could make sure that that is posted and up, that'd be great. I'll look for it as well. But that it's the training I did about customers and how you can get to a 6-figure income. It's over almost a 10-year period of time, okay? But it's how you can do it just acquiring customers. And this is a residual income for life, okay? A residual income for a long time, okay, on the customer acquisition part. So anyway, be on the lookout for it on joshuadenny.com on the replay, on the archives. Let me look up the... One more time, refresh. If not, we're gonna call it a night. Oh, here we go. Is there certain questions you ask to find out their color personality? Absolutely. The questions that I'm asking to, hi, my love. Okay, baby. I'll talk to you in a minute. Okay, love you. Sorry, the beauty of having a home-based business. My daughters love to come into the office, and I don't mind. It's interesting. I've had a couple people complain about that on the questions, and to you who complain about that, I'd say this is not for you. Go find something else to do. Okay, really, I don't want to work with you at all. If you have a hard time with children coming into an office of someone operating a home-based business, I would certainly say go do something else because it's probably not a good opportunity for you. And that's all I can say about that. I can't believe I've had multiple complaints, and I'm not going to change it. So I love my kids. I'm not going to lock my door, not for anybody. And I would hope that those of you out there that are going to put your family before any business or anything besides God. Okay. Let's see here. The questions. Oh, got off track there. Again, form. Family, occupation, recreation. When you ask them about their family, you're just going to start to pick up some hints on what's important to them, okay? About their occupation. Again, a red's going to talk more about themselves. A red's a me person. Me. They'll typically brag more often. They'll talk more about themselves. Okay? A red's kind of easy to determine because you'll see them. You can see them the way they dress, the way they posture up, kind of their their mannerism, and the words they use are going to be very egocentric. So it's a little easier to find a red personality type. And what's interesting is typically yellows really don't go well with reds. So if you find yourself being turned off, maybe you're more of a yellow and that's a red, okay? But just chalk it up to realizing it's a personality. They're not trying to aggravate you in person, in person or purposely. So I just say there's not particular questions other than the typical, family, occupation, recreation, looking for their motivation. You'll find it in just the language that they use. When you're new to addressing personality types, how do you remember all this info on the spot? Great question. You won't remember it all on the spot, okay? That's why this is a study. It's a study. You're going to be studying this. You're going to be applying it. You're going to come back. You're going to reevaluate. It's a study. It took me a long time to learn all this stuff and to understand it, but you can start to pick up on it quite a way when you're actively aware. There's a part of your brain that activates when you are aware of something. It starts to look for it. So you're going to start to look for this from now on, okay? And just be okay with it. Again, that's why when you're building a business like this, you're not just trying to recruit people. You're not just trying to get lucky and find a couple people to go build your business, okay? What you're trying to do is find individuals that want to open up a business, that want to be successful, and you're going to introduce them to this opportunity, showing them how this opportunity can get them what they want by speaking their language, okay? And if it's not for them, that's fine. Who do they know? Who can you meet through them? They're going to introduce you to somebody, okay? Believe me, if you're not a weirdo and you're not trying to hit them over the head and throw them in a paper bag and run down to the company office and dump them on the floor and say, look, I got one, I got a recruit, like you're trying to force them into something. People don't like that. People are turned off by that. You're turned off by that. I'm turned off by that. None of us want to deal with that. And of course, we're not going to give any referrals or recommend any friends to that type of experience, are we? Of course not. But if you treat someone kindly, you listen to them, you sincerely are interested in what they're saying, you find out their personality type, talk to them in that way, whether they want to do this or not is irrelevant, because you're gonna make a friendship. And in that friendship, they're gonna want to sincerely help you. So when you ask them, hey, who do you know? Maybe you know somebody who's interested in earning some extra money or helping promote these products or helping people with their skin or going out there and making a difference, having a lot of fun with this great company. If you know somebody, let me know. Who do you know right now? Who can you think of that is maybe someone who could use an opportunity to either help somebody or make some extra money? And just wait, and they'll tell you. Go, who's your best friend? My favorite question always: who's your best friend that lives local? Why are they your best friend? And you start asking questions. Okay. Anyway, that's the best way to do that, in my opinion. Okay. Tristan from Miami. What's the best way to sell a top-selling realtor with your personality to join Secret? He's an incredible red-blue who will dismiss direct marketing quickly. He's the top-selling realtor in Jackson. Okay, well, that's a good question. And again, everybody's different. If he's going to dismiss it right away, he's a red-blue, meaning he loves to have fun. He's money-motivated. Okay, you can challenge him for sure, but the best way to do it with a red-blue, in my opinion, is get him introduced to other people. Just go, look, I know you're not going to do this, but here's what I'd love you to do. Because I know you know people, you're a top-selling realtor, build them up, build up his ego. I would love for you to at least talk with some of the people I'm working with, and hear them out. I'd love your opinion on how I can do this better. How can I, again, this we're talking about a friend of yours. If this is not a friend, maybe that won't happen, but I'd say build a friendship first or build a relationship. But, build up their ego. Hey, you're a top-selling realtor. You're amazing. Obviously, you're successful. I'm working on that. I want to be successful too. Now, would you do me a favor, and would you let me know how I can do this better? Let me introduce some of the people I'm working with so you get a better idea of how it all works. And obviously not for you to do, because I don't think you could do something like this and just throw it in there, right? Or maybe you can, but you don't want to. But at least you'll get an idea and you can give me better advice. Would you do that for me? It'd be very difficult for a red-blue to say no to that, okay? Very difficult, especially if there's someone you know real well. Anyway, that would be what I would do. And again, our job is to get them to join, okay? Our job is to get them to walk down an information trail, okay? Introduce them to someone. Get them to see a video. get them out to a wild party or show them some products. Walk them down an information trail to where they can see it more, see it more, see it more. You're taking up more space in the mind, more space in the mind, until eventually they're like, I got it. I can't wait to do this. Okay? That's the process almost all of us went through, isn't it? I mean, think about it. We all went through a process like that. We're no, I don't like it. I don't think I can do this. I'm not interested. Okay, tell me about that again. Wait, well, that works like that. Well, that's pretty awesome. Okay, oh, really? That happened for you? You had that much success? Oh, well, that's pretty neat. Oh, wow, you made how much? What happened? It's that much fun? Well, you're helping people, right? And you walk through this information trail, eventually like, okay, I like this. I want to do this. And now you're doing it, excited. Now you can't, now we wonder why people don't get started right away. Anyway. Thanks. I love hearing the little voices too. I love baby girls. Who are the organizers? Organizers. I'm not exactly certain what that question is. Can you rephrase the question, please, about organizers? I think you spent too little time talking about letting your kids in your office. I probably did. I should let them in here. Let them hang out because they are awesome. Guys, this is for me. This is why I love doing a business like this. I love being with my family. I just love being with my kids. I'm home with them all day. I get to be with them. I get to see them. I get to experience them. And they're little, so sometimes they understand to not be in the office. Sometimes they just come in anyway. And you know what? I love it. It's the coolest thing in the world. There was a time when I worked 12 hours a day. I had a commute from Riverside in California, where I lived, to another place in California called Santa Ana. It was sometimes a 2-hour commute, depending on traffic, because it was it was 45 minutes one way without traffic, but with traffic, sometimes it was this parking lot on the freeway, and I'd have to go, get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and punch the time clock by 6, and I'd have to do that on the way home, and I worked 12-hour shifts, so I didn't want that for my children. I didn't want to, get up before they got up, and leave the house before they had breakfast, and get home after they had dinner, and try to spend a little bit of time with them before they went to bed. That was not the life I wanted for my family. That's why I decided to participate in this type of marketing. And I suspect that's why a lot of you are too, so you can be with your family and you can do the great things with them. And I assure you, if you you stay the course, you work the program, it'll only be a matter of time before you are able to experience the same type of results, okay? I promise you. Look, I was one of those people. I can, I didn't graduate high school. I didn't know if I could win, but I wanted it, and I was willing to study, and I was willing to work, and I was willing to stay the course until it happened. Okay, it didn't happen overnight, not by any stretch of the imagination. If someone told you you're gonna get rich, and the first few weeks, they're gonna be, they're not honest with you. That may happen. It's just rare, and it's super rare. Okay, there's a learning process. Question: what color would organizers be? Oh, someone who's an organizer, a green. Sorry about that. Green. More green personality. A green personality is real factual oriented. Let me just kind of read this. Detail oriented, precise, controlled. Likes to do things right the first time. They're typically greens are a lot of times sole proprietors, right? They're like they own their own small business a lot of the times, because only they can do it right. They are rare to delegate. A green likes to be very thorough, complete. Okay, they're typically, like, I don't want to say OCD, but you'll have more OCD trait in a green, where everything has its place and everything's neat and orderly and tidy, and they get really weird when things are out of place. They organize their emails. Like, they have a box for everything. Their desktop is typically really nice and neat, and everything's orderly. That is not me, but it is what it is. Okay, and anyway, hopefully that helps. Okay, one last time for questions, guys. I know I keep saying this, but there's still a whole bunch of people on, so since you're still hanging out, I'm gonna keep asking. Let's see. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're out of questions now. Refresh it one more time. Yep, no questions. All right, we're good. We're free. We're out of here. Guys, I am looking forward to seeing you next week, okay? And the schedule is going to change a little bit. I'm going to be moving to Japan with my family for about a month, so we're going to change this Wednesday just a little bit, where I'm going to be doing it on Wednesday, but it'll probably move to a monthly situation just because of the time change in Japan and some of my schedule. So we'll do some of the replay stuff, archive stuff, and I may move to a different format. I'm open to suggestion, comments, however you would like to participate. I would love to know how you want your information. So please don't hesitate to send me either questions on this box here, where I'll be able to read them a little bit later, or on Facebook. In any event, it's been an honor and privilege to serve you this evening. Thank you so much for your time. I look forward to your success and seeing you on future calls. God bless.